Hey there, seekers of spiritual, tangible results.
Welcome to the no-nonsense zone, where common sense meets the spiritual. I'm Jason Parks.
I'm Emma Romano, your unapologetically real spiritual guides.
We don't sugarcoat. We don't dance around the woo-woo. We just deliver the raw, kick-ass truth.
Join us each episode as we dive deep into the mystical, cut through the bullshit, and show you how to manifest the tangible results you've been craving for.
No fluff, no filters, just two mentors on a mission to elevate your mind, body, and soul.
Get ready to transform your life like never before. This is Soul Aligned Results, where spirituality meets the real world.
Welcome to Soul Aligned Results. I'm energetic therapy specialist and spiritual mentor, Jason Parks. And with me is the internationally renowned trauma and relationship expert, the fabulous
Romano. Hi, everyone. Hello. Guys, today we got a big one. So we know it's the year of the snake.
Yes, we do.
The year of the snake is a great year to shed old crap that's not working for us, old identities, stepping into new identities. It's also about abundance, opulence. It's about all kinds of things, but it's really about shifting. And, I've something shifted this weekend. So I want to talk about brilliance and what it means and why we as people have been conditioned to be so fearful of it.
Mm.
And people think failure is or abandonment is their biggest fear, or public speaking or falling. It's actually not. Your biggest fear is being in your greatness, in your brilliance. And I want to explain what brilliance is according to my theories. If you like them, use them. If you don't, kick them out. And I want to give full disclosure here. If there's anything that I say that you go, that's full of shit, Emma, just don't remember it.
You know, that is such an important point. Not that what you say is full of shit, but that's the thing about anyone if you're doing the work, and I'm going to come back to that later in this one, but if you're doing the work, everything else is a second opinion.
Yes.
So our stuff is of value to you or it's not. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't have an intrinsic value. So it's not like this is valuable, therefore. It's like, no, we make an offering of this so that if there's stuff in here that can help you at this time, then awesome. And if not, then that's okay. Move on.
Yeah. So let me explain where I've been at since the last podcast and this podcast. Between the last podcast and this podcast, I know you guys listening think it's probably 2 weeks in between rest, but it's not actually been for Jason and I. It's been about 6 to 7 weeks. I spent a month in Bali running 3 massive events, and it was huge and beautiful and amazing. And I've come home. I've been resting, plus I've been seeing a client here and there, but I've really been focusing on resting and, just being with the people who fill my cup, which is my family and my immediate, my close friends. It's been really lovely. And I've also been on this massive health journey in the last 7 to 8 weeks. And I have gone just to Whole Foods, completely detox myself of any chemicals, any processed foods. And it's the very first time in my entire life that I have actually not had a chemical brain. So even the things that I put on my skin, no chemicals, nothing. Like I've really detoxed. And believe me, when you detox off that shit, oh my God, your body feels it. It's crazy how addicted we are to processed foods and chemicals, even in makeups and things like that. It's nuts. But it feels good. And so I've been shedding. So what I like to do is I like to think I'm tricking the universe, right? Now, if you see me, you'll see me smiling because you can never trick the freaking universe. I always think I'm going to trick the universe by I will choose my shed. I will choose my identity shift instead of my ass being kicked, which is good. And it works probably maybe 6 to 7 times out of 10. But that other 3 to 4 out of 10 doubly kick my butt. And I know now where I have been sitting in fear of actually being fully me. And this is how it shows up. So this is the brilliance bit. I am more comfortable with failure and discussing my fails than I am discussing my successes.
Yeah.
I am actually really not good at celebrating my successes. I am so good at championing other people. I can sit there, I'll cry for you, I will cheer for you, I will hug you. But when it's to me, I'm almost embarrassed by it. That is not a good thing. And it makes me emotional. I actually feel like really tearful talking about it because I know we are all so purposely built by the source of all freaking creation has had all of us in the source of all creation. I mean, you got to think the source of all creation created every single thing in this universe and all the other universes and in all those universes and in all those universes. And I'm sitting here saying, no matter what I do, it's not enough. Source of all creation, you kind of messed it up with me. And that upsets me because as a mother, if one of my children look at me and say, I don't feel like I'm enough of a person, that breaks my heart and I'm their mother. So that's what I'm doing to the source of all creation when I'm saying, when I don't celebrate me, when I'm not comfortable in my brilliance. Because we all have moments of brilliance, every single one of us, not one person doesn't. I really don't believe that. I really believe in every moment, even if it's somebody who is a drug addict and they're on the street and they just shine a smile or they pat a dog and they show some love, they show some kindness. That's some part of their brilliance. So I've been delving into this the last 2 days, and this is Monday morning for Jason and I, and Sunday morning I send Jason a message going, okay, I know what we need to talk about in the podcast. It's about brilliance. He's like, I can't wait to find out more about this. So he's finding out about this in real time. So I went diving and I went, why? I mean, for those looking on a video, I've got this little cool diary and it's called You Got This with sparkly stars on the front. And I was writing to God, who I call the source of all creation. Not everybody does, but I love writing to God. I'm not religious. I was brought up Catholic and I call myself a fake Catholic because I like going to mass twice a year, Easter and Christmas Day. That's it.
Isn't that an Australian Catholic though?
Yeah, that's might be an Australian Catholic. Yes.
I was raised a Catholic as well. So
yes. So, but I'm not a practicing Catholic, but I'm very strong spiritual practice. And I was having a conversation. I was like, okay, well, what is brilliance? For me, brilliance are the moments where you're unapologetically yourself and you have complete 100% trust in yourself. So for me, I'll give an example. I'm on this health journey and a lot of people have been inspired by it. I've dropped like 12 kilos, something like that. And I have a lot of energy. I'm feeling amazing. And a lot of people are inspired by it. But the first thing they'll say to me is this, yeah, but what do you have to give up? And I'm like, sickness, illness, inflammation, shitty sleep, irregular hormones, low libido, shame, guilt, being lethargic. And they say, yeah, no, not that. But what do I have to give up? Do I have to give up sugar and alcohol?
yeah.
I'm like, yes. And the reason that they ask that, and then all of a sudden they'll sit back and go, oh, I don't think it's for me. What they're really saying is this. They don't trust themselves that they cannot do it.
Yeah.
So they're out of their brilliance. When we are in brilliance, we trust ourselves. And I see moments of it with me. I know when I'm not in my brilliance. I go into scarcity mode straight away. I'm like, so the family and I, we are planning to go to Japan in January. So I need to accumulate around $30,000 for the four of us to go to Japan for 3 weeks. And I'm like, yes, this is so exciting. This is great. Scarcity side of Emma. So Emmy in her brilliance. Oh my God, this is brilliant. I'm so excited. I'm on ChatGPT and I'm figuring out the days and where we can go. And I want to do a warrior fight and I want to build a sword with the guys. And I go want to do all the things. And then Emma, not in her brilliance, sits there and wonders, where the fuck am I going to get this money from? That's Emma out of her brilliance. That's Emma out of her trust. I feel for me, where I am in my brilliance journey is it's about trust. It's about going, what's the vision? And then I had another little process. So sometimes I find, and I don't know if anybody else does, and the reason I want to share this is because we all go through shit. We all go through awesomeness and we all go through shit as well. And I'm going through both of them at the very same time. Is anything wrong? No. Nobody's sick in my family. No one's dying. No one's had an accident. Nothing's wrong. This is just internal shifting. So it's a really good place to be. So you can sit there and go, I am safe. Like I got a great home, a beautiful relationship, great kids, great family, great business. Everything is safe. My body is safe. Everything's safe. So for me, it's the best time to go through I call it the rug pull out. You know, you're pulling the rug out from underneath your feet.
Yeah.
It's the best time for me to have it. I rather have it now when everything is good than when all the shit has hit the fan and then you got to deal with it. Does it make sense? Like if something really outside of ourselves has happened. So I sat there and I went, in my brilliance, what does it look like? I actually found it quite hard to figure it out. And I thought, all right, let's go back to basics. What if I won $50 million at the lottery tonight? What would be different for me? And it wasn't about the spending. I asked myself, how would I feel after knowing I've got $50 million in my account? So I wrote them down. I would feel calmer. That's it. I wouldn't be any happier because I would just feel calmer. So I'm sitting there going, if I don't feel calm, it means I don't really feel safe. So what's the opposite of safe and calm? Trust. Where does trust lie? In brilliance. So this is a little trick that I had. And then it's the same trick that I did when I was on the big detox. And I'm now at the weight that I want to be, and I'm at the health I wanted to be. At the very beginning of it, I went, well, how would I feel once I am? And I said, safer in my body. It always comes down to safety. So then I asked myself further, what scares me about being brilliant? And there was a big list. It was a big list. And really it came down to one thing. It came down to, I'm scared of losing people and people thinking I'll be too much and pushing me out of their tribes. And so again, I'm pretending I know what brilliance is because I don't know it. I've never been there. I've never 100% been. I've had so many beautiful moments of it. I feel I'm in my brilliance in really great moments, especially when I'm presenting, when I am holding space for people, when I'm getting people transformations. I'm in my brilliance. I'm in complete 100% trust. I don't even think. I just do. I'm just in complete coherence of change. I am in my brilliance when moments with my family, not all the time, but there's moments. So I know what brilliance is. And I look and I go, when I'm in those moments, how am I feeling? I feel complete safety and I feel complete trust. That's it. I'm just in alignment with trust. There's nothing else there. It's just trust. And when I'm not in my brilliance, I go into doubt. How are people going to take me? How are they going to judge me? Are they going to think I'm too much? And I know where it comes from. It comes from a especially in Australia, we are in a community of you can't be too big for your boots.
Yeah, we actually have a term for it in Australia. It's called poppy cutting.
Yeah, tall poppy syndrome.
Yeah. If
Yeah.
somebody grows a bit too big, people feel the cultural paradigm is they need to be cut down to size.
Yep.
So, so people will attack those people on
And
whatever level they can.
yeah, I grew up like that. I grew up with a grandmother who was very much in competition with everybody around her. And so if anybody was doing well, she would cut me down to size a lot. And, I went to a private Catholic girls' school where you weren't allowed to stand out. And I did. I was the only redhead. I was fun. I was funny. And I was shut down. I was shut down very quickly. I was bullied. So I learned very quickly to play the game of being like other people and not being like myself.
Yeah.
Just so I could have friends. I didn't have many friends at school until probably year 9. Like I only really had 1 to 2 friends all the way up because I just didn't fit in. I was very different. I was seeing fairies and shit, like saw dead people. Like
That's not really,
you don't want to hang
that
out
doesn't go down well in the Catholic
with an
environment.
animal, like I can
Yeah.
listen and talk to animals. I was a weird kid. Anyway, so I have to sit here now, and this is what I've been going through yesterday. I was having this great conversation with God or the source of all creation, whatever you want to call it. And I was saying, it's amazing how I'm still playing the game as though I'm 7. I'm still playing the game like I've got to still be this person in parts of my life just to please other people. So I'm going into this bravery and this courage of actually finding out deeper of who I am. I mean, 10 years ago, or 2014, I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis and all these autoimmune diseases, and I healed them. And about 4, 5 years ago, in 2019, that's when I stopped drinking. So I've been sober since November 2019. Greatest bloody decision I ever freaking made, by the way. Bloody greatest, apart from marrying my husband. He's amazing. But stopping drinking, oh my God, the greatest decision. You have so much more fun when you don't drink, trust me. But I found out when I stopped drinking of how much of a people pleaser I was and how toxic that trait is. Because when you're a people pleaser, you lose yourself, right? You merge into other people. You're a chameleon. Like you just merge into other people, which means no one really knows who the fuck you are, which means what? You don't know who you are. So it's been this great big journey of finding out, well, who's Emma? And I thought I nailed it. And I think I did to a really big extent. But now I'm finding that extra bit. And it's cool. Like, it's very cool. It's disturbing and it's pattern interrupting, but I'm all for it. I had a big cry yesterday, which was really nice. That was really, really good. What did I cry about? I have no idea. I just cried. I was having a buzz. It was great. Here's a top tip. If you just feel like crying, just cry. Don't attach it to a story. You don't need an excuse to cry. Just cry. It's fantastic because you never know. Crying is when you cry like that, if you have tears coming out the side of your eyes, it means a belief system is changing. If you have tears coming up from the inside of your eyes, it means there is an old emotion changing. So it's pretty cool. But if we attach crappy stories to it, we just get caught up in the loop of it being shameful and bad and we're wrong. It's not shameful, it's not bad, it's wrong, it's freaking glorious. So this whole brilliance thing has really rocked me, Jason.
Good.
It is good.
That's the work.
That's the work.
Yeah.
And I can see where I go, where I'm out of brilliance. And I wrote a few things down. It's like, there was a couple of things. I don't want to go out for lunch with people because I'm scared I won't stick to my plan, my eating plan.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's another moment of distrust of yourself, Emma.
Yeah.
That's not your brilliance. So that was yesterday. So last night I went to my nephew Xavier's birthday party. He was 11, had all the Romanos there. It was beautiful. And so, this is Italian. The food is crazy. So I ate at 4:30. I went there. I didn't have anything. I was fine. So I just went because I'm in trust. Was it hard? No, because that's me trusting me and that's me in my brilliance. And I was very worried about what they were going to say. Like, well, why aren't you eating? What's wrong with you? And no one did. They just commented. They went, God, you look amazing. You look really healthy. I went, thank you. I'm just cleaning up my act. I've already eaten. So when you bring out the fruit, I'll delve into that because, they're Italians. Fruit galore. It's beautiful, right? The platters are amazing. And they're like, okay, I can't get you anything. I'm like, no, I'm super, super happy. And it was so easy. So this little bullshit story that I had in my head wasn't even true.
Never is.
Never is. It never is. So this is what I'm going to put forward to our listeners. What does brilliance mean to you? And where do you play it? And where do you not? And when you don't, what are you supporting? Because when I don't play in my brilliance, I am supporting a narrative that I have to play small for other people to accept me and feel good. I have a big fear or had a big fear of outshining people. That's a big one. Because God forbid I grew up in a family that you outshone my grandmother.
Yeah. There's consequences to that.
Massive consequence. There was fights and arguments. My mum never brought me up like that. My mum was like, you shine, girl. You shine, shine, shine. She would, support me. My uncle, he's like my father, he sort of took the daddy, my mum's brother. He was like, you can do whatever you freaking want. You go and do it. If you fail 1,000 times at it, you haven't failed enough. You fail 1,001 times at it and succeed. Good girl, you go for it. He's the guy so I failed year 8 twice. So I repeated year 8. And he's the guy. So in my second year 8, we got my first report. Oh my God, I'll never forget. Standing at the front of the stairs. So you're going through the front door. There was like this little hallway. And then you go up the stairs to the bedrooms, and my mum is standing there screaming at me, right? She's just got it in the mail, and it's like E, F, but for drama, A, religion, A. Anyway, I rung my uncle. I'm going, Mum's gonna kill me. She's so upset. He's gotten in his ute. He's come up. The car's running, right? He's looked at me. He's come into the house. He's looked at my report. He's gone, but excellent, but fucking fantastic. He's my mum, Susie, goes, what's wrong with you? He looked at me, he goes, get in the car. I'm stood out. I'm like balding. My mum's like, you come here, you little shit, right? My uncle's like, get in the car. And then he's run and he's taking me out to his house, like, with the kid. Oh, God, it was so funny. So he was like, I could do no wrong. Failed. He goes, failing's great. But my grandmother I put such like a massive, she held such an influence on me because I said she did. Does that make sense?
Yeah, there are agreements, isn't it?
Yeah, I had a massive agreement that she was head of the family, she was the queen, and what she did ruled. And it's amazing how, I'm 54 and sitting here just yesterday going, oh, there's parts of me that are still in agreement that she is the boss of me.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting? And there's something that I learned from Jason. This is why I get mentoring from Jason. Jason always said, just simply create. Create, create, create. Don't go looking for all your crap, right? Don't go shadow hunting for your stuff. You just create, and believe me, it'll pop up. And it's true, because I wanted to go into my brilliance. And next thing, I'm bawling my eyes out. I don't know. I'm really, here's a word, discombobulated.
Yeah.
Right. So, I'm just like,
yeah.
Everything's great. I'm in such a good space, but it's all like the rug's being pulled out from underneath my feet in a really beautiful, great way. And it's all internal. Nothing's external. It's all internal. So I'm creating brilliance. I'm creating a space where I'm saying to myself, it's safe, Emma, to be in your greatest version of you. It's safe, Emma, for you to be the version of you that the source of your creation can learn by you, and you can lead from a better space. People are going to be better off. And it's just where I still had these little agreements. And my grandmother died at 100 years of age, 4 years ago. I love her, love, 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 love her. And it's amazing how I'm still playing a little game in my head of when I was 4. So there's this little version of Emma who's very strong agreement that's still playing this game in the background.
Yeah.
So my next step is, and I wrote down, I'm scared of losing people. I'm fearful of being thrown out of the tribe. What if I outgrow people? What if this? What if that? What if this? And so today I'm going to sit down and go, for starters, I have no idea of what's going to happen.
That's right.
I can only make it up. And then what I can do is I'm just sitting here now going, why do I feel that in my brilliance means that I lose people? Because maybe I'm confusing brilliance with egotistical. So I have to check myself in on that. I'm only going to lose people if I'm not a vibrational match. And that happens daily.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a big one. Is there anything?
It's a big one.
It's a big one. Thanks for listening, everyone, by the way. You're literally listening to me in real time, process myself about brilliance.
That's why I haven't said anything. It's
Thank
great.
you. This is how Jason mentors. This is like a mentoring session, by the way. Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to speak to a couple of points.
Thank you.
Because
I see my friend Earl Grey tea. Yeah.
Yeah, you've brought a lot. There's a lot you brought to the table, Emma. Thank you for that. That's huge. And it's important for people to do it in real time. It's one of the things that we talk about a lot is we talk about doing the work.
Yeah.
And I want to clarify that because yesterday, I had an interesting experience yesterday. I rarely look at the news. The news finds me when I need to know. And if I don't need to know, I don't give it energy, because if you're going to create anything of any value in your life, you have to take responsibility for your own power. And in doing that, it's as much about what you don't give energy to what you do give energy to.
Yeah.
And so if I don't have the ability to change something, I don't need to burn mental energy on it, because it diverts focus from what I could be working on.
Yes. I think
So,
that's important.
yeah. So yesterday it was very strange. I was getting ready to have a meditation group that I hold every couple of weeks, which is a beautiful group. And I never looked at the news before. And yesterday, when I was getting ready, doing through my morning practices, it was like, you need to look at the news. And I pulled out I pulled it up, and there was an article about Kerwin Rae and what had happened to Kerwin Rae's empire since he passed away last year.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to have a go at Kerwin Rae. I've listened to his stuff over time. I loved what he was saying.
Yeah.
There was so much value in what he was offering people, undeniably.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, reading this article, there was it really hit home a couple of things. And one of the things about doing the work, and not to have a go at this guy at all, but this guy didn't die in an accident. This guy killed himself after a prolonged period of severe mental illness.
Yeah.
And what's really sad about that is the way that to this day, everybody's kind of pretending that's not what happened. And they're all trying to make out that it's all like, there was a statement that his wife made about how he'd been banned from their home because he was too dangerous and unstable to be around their children. He would come over once a week to have dinner with them, and he'd sit on the couch and bawl his eyes out. And she made the comment in the quote that was in the news, that it was like those conversations were so raw, so real, so honest. So what the fuck? This guy killed himself. You guys watched him do it over a prolonged period. And now you're trying to pretend that it was all some beautiful thing. He was failed by his inability to do the actual work, which is reach into the hard things. And it is not a failing of him as a character. It is a failure to prepare. If you do not set yourself up to do this work, you don't get the support that you need, and you use that support when you need it, that's setting yourself up for failure, because there's nothing more consistent in this, that when you go to do something real in the work, you are going to hit things that are bigger than you, because that's the nature of it. And it's the real thing about the brilliance. At the fundamental of this, when you said to me about what we're going to talk about today, the first thing that sprung to me was about humility.
Yes.
Humility is profoundly important in this,
Yes.
because humility is, first of all, accepting that there are things bigger than you. That's the first part of it.
And there's
And
going to be.
there's always going to be, but the divine is the first thing that you should accept as being bigger than you.
That's right.
And
Yeah.
one of the things that's sad about this, where people fail, is I've worked with a lot of people that were suicidal in previous roles, and sometimes in this role, and like a lot, I mean, like daily basis for years. And in that, you notice there's certain patterns. And one of the patterns is that people culturally, we look at and we say, well, rock bottom is suicide. And it's not. Rock bottom is where you face your consequences for the bullshit that you've been telling yourself. You cannot deny it, and you smash into it face first so hard that you actually bounce up onto your feet. That's where you turn your life around. That's rock bottom. Killing yourself is what you do to avoid that. You refuse to change. You refuse to change your mind. So what's really sad about this? Well, the legacy's sad about this. And the way that that legacy is continuing is sad about this. Like I said, I don't want to get into this guy, and I don't want to get into the people that have been left behind and their pain. There was a statement that one of his mentees said to a journalist. It was like, the thing that upsets them about it is the way it's being handled. But really, when you are learning to swim, if you're paying someone for swimming lessons and that swimming teacher jumps in the pool and drowns, you're going to go, wait a minute, this is not right. And it's a valid point. But we need to be asking that question of ourselves in our own practice. We don't let life ask that question for you, because you get stuck. Humility is two parts of it. The first one is that you are not more than you think you are. I cannot tell you how many times we hear this in this work, where people will talk about, I manifested this, I manifested that. So did you? How fucking clever of you. Is it possible that the divine extended grace to you in this moment? Is it possible that everything that you thought was your genius and your brilliance was simply the divine working through you and through everyone around you to facilitate that? One of the greatest moments in my life, one of the greatest opportunities that was handed to me, was when I moved from northern Tasmania to southern Tasmania, because on the same day, from northern Queensland to southern Tasmania, next door, literally the same day, we pulled up in our driveway, they pulled up in their driveway. That was my mentor. That was the person who showed me how to put it all together.
Yeah.
I'm not that clever.
Yeah.
Right? That is undeniably the divine working its magic through us. So humility on the first part is saying that we're not bigger than we think we are. right? We are actually in service to something much larger. And that sometimes comes through as inspiration. We have to accept an idea that's bigger than us, because if we can't do that, we won't grow. We won't let go of what we're doing. But the other side of that is we also have to say that our ego locks us down to pretend that we are not as big as we are. And humility is also saying, yes, I'm actually a lot bigger than I think I am. That's the other side of humility. So when we talk about it, Emma, you were talking about before, like, the fear of failure versus the fear of greatness. It's such a massive thing, because being bigger than what you have now has consequences, and taking responsibility for those consequences is how you grow. So that is really the fundamental of it. Am I prepared to be bigger than I've been in the past? If the answer is no, then I will spiral. I will spiral down, because nothing stays forever constant. It's an illusion of the mind. That I will spiral down. And if I can't pull myself out of a spiral because I refuse to accept it because of my ego, my vanity, my hubris, where I deny the divine in the world, I deny the divine in myself. Everything of value in your life has been set up for you before you were born, before you even came into this world. You prepped. That is undeniable. If you can still your mind enough to listen to it, you can hear it, you can see it. It's there. And when you see it, it's undeniable. It's not this is what I think about it. What you think doesn't matter. So you can see it. So it's really what happens to the ego is it takes a picture from our past, and you spoke to this. Absolutely, Emma. Takes a picture of the past, projects it into your future, and then uses that to inform your present.
Yep.
I can't do anything now because I've got this idea of what might happen based on what did happen. So what a mind fuck that is. So that's just a complete loop that you've made up. And grace cuts through that. Allowing grace, allowing ease, allowing kindness, taking the idea that, you know what, no matter how difficult this process seems right now, when I look at my tangible results, I need to look at all of them. And one of those things, I used to say this a lot when I used to talk to people who'd been long-term homeless. They'd sit down and there's an isolation that comes with that, an invisibility that comes with that. So there's an assumption that you can't see me. And one of the things that I would say to people once we sort of got to the point where that was appropriate is I'd say, you know what, it's such a pleasure to be able to have you here, to be able to work with you, because what we know about you, so like what I know about you so far is pretty great. And people look at you like, you're lying to me. You're bullshit. And they'd say, of course, well, what do you think you know? And I'd say, well, I don't think I know anything. I know a lot about you. So the first thing I know is you are a survivor. That most people have gone through what you've gone through aren't here anymore. So the fact that you're here having this conversation with me, said that's pretty impressive. And then, of course, because people get seen, and that's it. No matter how hard the process is or has been for us, so we're still here.
Yeah.
If you're still here, you can win. You can't win if you stop.
That's right. Exactly. Yeah. I'm working with this guy at the moment, and I've just started, and he is a radio announcer. He's quite a large guy. And he was referred to me, and he said, I've actually got no pride. He's very, very, very wealthy, got a kid and all that sort of stuff. He goes, I'm really, really good. I went, no, you're not. He goes, what makes you think that? Well, look at your tangible results. I said, you've got a problem in your brain. I said, you're overweight. You can barely walk. They're your tangible results that you're not doing very well. And he goes, oh, fuck. But he goes, I'm just fat. I went, but there's a reason why you're fat. Because you don't poison something you love. Dis-ease does not live in a body of love.
No, that is right. It cannot exist.
It cannot live in there. It cannot exist in it. And there's one thing about grace. It took me a long time to figure out really this is how I work. I get a concept and I embody it. And I have to do it. I have to do it over and over and over again for it to really land. And so I can really full bodily get an understanding of it. Grace to me is this. I'm sure grace to people is very, very different. Because people have said to me, well, where do I buy grace and ease? I go, it's okay about being you without shaming yourself. It's okay and going, all right, so I did this shitty thing. I'm not going to shame myself about it, but I'm going to learn about it. Now, where do I take full responsibility for my actions and how I reacted in that moment? And now, if I went back there, what would I do differently? And then if you ever get the opportunity, do it differently. Do it differently in the little tiny moments. It's when you're driving down the road and someone cuts you off. Don't get angry. Just sit there and trust the process and go, maybe they had to cut me off because that saves me from an accident later on.
Yeah.
You know, I've got this little mantra, everything is always working out for me and I don't need to know how or why in this moment. I feel to me in my journey with grace, that's where I'm at with grace right now. It's that trust, even if I don't understand it.
Grace is the thing about grace that's so powerful about it is that it's funny what you said when people say, how can I earn it? You know, how can I buy it? So we can't buy it.
No.
I said, trying to buy it is why you can't have it. It's you allow grace. We are swimming in an ocean of it.
Yes. It's like this is another one, and I'm sure I've spoken about it so many times. I say this a lot. Look, I've just come off retreat, and in the very first retreat, we had a lot of very ill. It was a healing retreat, and we had a stage 4 cancer patient. We had addicts and things like that, and they said, I've been fighting my cancer, and I went, that's why you're at stage 4 now. That's why it didn't work at stage 1, 2, 3, or 4. I said, if you keep fighting the cancer, you will die.
Yeah.
I said, you have to allow healing to come through. There is no healing in fight. The minute we even say the words fight, our immune system shuts down. Our stomach, our digestive system shuts down. 75% of our brain shuts down. Our peripheral vision widens to look for more danger. So therefore, whatever we look for, our ego has to find it and we make shit up.
Yeah.
It's the way our body works, right? Can't avoid it. But if we sit there and go, right, well, I'm actually going to look for surrender. I'm going to surrender to love in myself. That's a whole different kettle of fish. That's where the healing comes through. Trust me, I'm somebody who's lived and breathed this. You know, people say to me all the time, oh, what did you do to heal yourself from multiple sclerosis? I stopped being an asshole to myself.
I know.
Bitch to me. I stopped looking in the mirror and going, oh, look at you, you're ugly and fat and dumb. I stopped eating shit that was poisoning a body. You know, how can you sit there like if you imagine a beautiful pot plant and you're putting rat poison on it and you're looking at this pot plant going, you're an ugly bitch, you're fucking stupid, you got nothing. Oh, and we're going to fight. Cancer, 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 cancer. How long do you think that pot plant's going to last for?
Yeah. Yeah.
Couple of days, maybe a week, if you're lucky.
Yeah.
Even after watering it. You can even put the sea salt in it. Like, it's still not going to last. It can't. We are exactly the same. You know, everything that is happening to us is happening for us because it's corresponding back to us. How are we doing?
Yeah. Which is that correspondence factor is an aspect of that. The thing about grace that's so important is that grace is extended to us simply by us being part of creation. All things that are created have access to grace because it is that the divine is holding a picture of us that is so much bigger than the one that our pain body holds for us. And when we stop fighting it and we just let that picture wash over us, that's when we encounter miracles. So it's miraculous to experience those things.
We really need to step out of the agreement of I am a survivor. Because to survive, it means we always have to have a freaking problem.
Yeah. Survival is a stage.
Yes.
So, that, you know,
Yes.
sorry?
So is happiness. I see the epiphany around happiness. So I get all these clients, what do you want? I want to be happy. What does that look like? They go, I don't know. Happiness is not a destination. Happiness is a mood.
Yeah.
It's like being hungry.
That's right.
Sometimes I'm hungry, sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I'm sad, sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I'm angry, sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I'm happy, sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I'm asleep, sometimes I'm not. Happiness isn't a destination, it's a mood.
Mm.
Very interesting. Listen, we gotta go. I think we need to continue this conversation. There's a lot in this, wasn't there? Guys, if you, I really, really recommend that you jump on our website, soulalignedresults.com, and we've got, what do you call it, masterclasses in there. And Jason and I actually want to do one on this subject. We want to look at it and to help people get into their brilliance and cut out the bullshit. And I really recommend that you jump onto our website and have a look to see some of the offers that we've got there for you. They're cheap as shit. They're just sitting there for you. Let's help you while we help ourselves. And we want to hear from you guys. Jump on the Facebook page, soulalignedresults.com. Private message me or email us. I'm Emma Romano emma@emmaromano.com.au. Jason, what's your email?
thelifeprinciple@gmail.com.
There you go, thelifeprinciple@gmail.com. Contact us. Let us know how you're going. We really would love some feedback on this. And we'll see you on the next podcast. Thanks, Jason. That was a great podcast. Wow.
Thanks, Emma.